To my right here, I have crankshaft pulley would attach to for your serpentine belts. Right here are your connecting rod journals, and then around here, here, and here would be your main, what are known as your main crankshaft journals. These are where your bearings ride. They keep it in center place, and this is what connects to your connecting rods that move your pistons up and down. To the left here, I have a slider. This is your cam gear. Here are your lobes. This is what actually opens and closes your valve frame. The height and duration of it is what tells it how far open the valve goes and how long it stays open. This right here, the whole assembly here, is known as your cylinder head. This is what actually holds all of your valves, valve springs and keepers, valve guides, all the other good stuff. And your spark plugs as well. The assembly of I'm just going to skip some of this over here just to talk about this. This is what is known as your valve train. This is what has all of your connecting rods, or lifters. In this situation, it is lifters. Your cam lobe will move this, and it'll move your little connecting rod here, or not connecting rod, but your rocker arm, and it'll push your valve open and allow it to close back using one of these valve springs. You have three different types. You have cylindrical, perfect cylinder. You have conical, which looks like a straight cone, and then beehive, which is pretty much the same size, and then it cones off at the very top. And then all vehicles use some sort of timing system to match your valve train with your crankshaft. Some use a rubber belt, others use a chain. Either way, they both have to be lined up specifically so that you don't crush valves or bend connecting rods. This here is one of your connecting rods. It's got the cap, and through here is where the wrist pin goes. Here. And the wrist pin goes inside your piston head here. And your piston head rides inside of a cylinder wall. Okay, this is a removable one, but in certain other applications like this one over here, they are integrated in, so there is no removing them. This is what you would call the cylinder block, or the short block. A long block would be the whole thing assembled. And then over here we have an intake manifold gasket. You can tell that because it has the rubbers. Exhaust manifold gasket will be a multi-layer steel or a single layer steel, like this. Usually multi-layer steel gasket, like this. If it's used, you can identify it by the rust marks. And then what we have over here is a used head gasket, cylinder head gasket, multi-layered steel gasket. Alrighty, and then what we have here is a piece of what appears to be a main bearing. They come as two pieces, same thing with rod bearings. They come as two pieces just like this, and they have tangs. And you have to make sure to align them just properly or you will cause problems. This is a valve. By the looks of it, it very well could be an intake valve. Could also be an exhaust valve. Exhaust valves tend to be smaller than your intake valves. Alright. This is a removable valve guide. Valve guide seal to be exact. And this here is the removable valve guide. Make sure you can kind of see it. It's a little copper piece of tube. And then what we also have are these guys here. This sits on top of your valve. This is your, not sure if you can see it or not, like that. And inside your valve holder are your valve keepers, which these I'm going to have to walk up closer to you because they are tiny. See those guys there? Those are your valve keepers. They are what holds your valve inside of your valve stick. And then in certain applications they use a push rod because your cam is actually inside the block instead of inside the cylinder head. So your cam will push your connecting rod or your push rod here, and this is what will actually push up your rocker arm to open up your valve. And then this right here is your timing chain or belt tensioner. Some of them are hydraulic, some of them are just spring tension. However, this one here is hydraulic. Alright. On a side note there, certain valve trains have these. These are valve caps. Basically, instead of pushing onto the valve spring or the valve head itself, it'll push onto this cap, which pushes onto the valve to help reduce wear and tear. Alrighty. Well, these are hydraulic rollers. These are what are used in whenever a cam is inside of the block itself instead of the cylinder head. This little roller here is what goes against your cam lobe, and this is what pushes. This other end is what actually pushes your push rod. So your push rod would actually sit in here like so, and this would be pushing your valve open and closed. Once again, hope you learned a little something. If not, I'm sorry. But this was John at JTech. I hope you have a great day.